The carnivore diet continues to explode with popularity. It's changed my life. I feel healthier, happier, more calm, more peaceful, more focused, embracing all the beauty and joy of life. One of the places, aside from YouTube, that we go for inspiration and knowledge and reinforcement is Facebook. There are dozens and dozens of carnivore groups on Facebook. Some of them are good, and some of them are not so good. I bet some of you have dipped your toe in there, and some of you may be very active in different groups. But I want to tell you which groups really make a difference. I've looked at all of them. I have friends in all of them, and I've seen which ones seem to continue to have people who thrive and succeed on this way of eating. So of course, my list is subjective, but let me tell you what I based it on. First is I based it on the number of successful people I see in it. Have these people stuck with the diet? Are they consistently doing it? Is there lots of cheating? Sometimes people fall off the wagon and that's okay, but we don't want a group that's constantly telling stories of people falling off the wagon. That just triggers certain people, and it also is not what we're looking for on Facebook. We're looking for inspiration and reinforcement. So that's one thing. Second thing I look for is strictness. When I look for a group, I look for people that are strongly committed to a carnivore way of eating. I want reinforcement. I'm not looking for flexibility. Okay? But third, it should be welcoming. It shouldn't be the carnivore police. It should be the carnivore embodiment, the carnivore exemplars, representing the best of what this way of eating can do for our spirits, our bodies, our minds. So it should be strict, but it should be strict with a welcoming approach, that we are proud to embody this way of life, and we welcome you if you are interested in it. The fourth thing it should have is some empathy. We do need places to go when we mess up, and almost everybody messes up, falls off the wagon at one point or another. There's a difference between constantly celebrating or highlighting the mess ups versus being a place where you can say you messed up, say you've recommitted, and then get some guidance and support and inspiration for jumping back on the path. That's what I look for. Again, this is relatively subjective, but if you want to simplify what I'm looking for in a good Facebook carnivore group, it's 1, success, 2, strictness, 3, knowledgeable people, 4, welcoming, and 5, empathy. So here we go. The first group that I love and I probably look at the most is the Zero Carb Health Facebook group. It's got about 17,000 members, and it has some of the oldest and most experienced carnivores in the world. It was originally based off the writings of Charles Washington, who was an early pioneering carnivore back in the early 2000s. He himself is not active in the Facebook group anymore, but it is led by someone named Dana, who is incredibly thoughtful. She's very clear and strict in her approach, and she responds to people's questions all the time. She's active, she's engaged. Sometimes she is pretty strongly opinionated, and that can alienate some people. But I'd rather someone strongly opinionated with conviction than someone who's wishy-washy. So this group also has, besides Dana, there are many other long-term carnivores in this group. And they participate, they are active, they are knowledgeable. This was the first place that I became active, and I am incredibly grateful for the continuing influence and influencers who are in this group. The second group is Ferrigno Freedom. Now, this is a smaller group led by Dante Ferrigno, who has one of the most extraordinary YouTube channels. But what I like most about this channel is the sense of hope that you find in it. It's strict, it's knowledgeable, but it also is underlying with these wonderful stories of people succeeding on the carnivore way of eating, just like Dante did. And so I think these are people who are attracted to Dante's tone and way of teaching, which I enjoy myself. And so I find this group really filled with interesting people. People in this group are what in Judaism I would call a mensch, good people. And so I highly advise that group in addition to Dante's channel. The third group is the World Carnivore Tribe. Now this is a massive Facebook group. Zero Carb Health has about 17,000 members. World Carnivore Tribe has almost 100,000 members, so 5x the number of people. And so as a result, there's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of tangents and what I would consider not so important or interesting information in this group. But because it is so large, you can find information on almost any topic you're looking for. If you have any kind of query about somebody's carnivore experience, you're likely to find some sort of answer or some sort of discussion about it at World Carnivore Tribe. So it's good. It's a good place for the kind of minute, very detailed questions or concerns you might have. And there are a lot of good, knowledgeable people in the group. You have to figure out over time who you trust and who you don't. That's one of the most important distinctions you can make, is the more you learn about the carnivore way of eating, the more you realize that you have to find people who resonate with you and that who you find are trustworthy. And that's not always easy because everyone claims to be trustworthy. So you have to discern that. In many ways, that's a lifelong endeavor. I have found the people that I trust. I trust Dr. Chafee. I trust Dr. Sean Baker. I think he's excellent. I trust Carrie Mann of Homestead How. And there are many others I trust. But that comes over time. Don't just trust someone because of a title or because they've been carnivore for a certain number of years. You have to trust when you look at their information and when it resonates with you, and then you trust in your own experience. We'll have more videos on this concept of who you can trust in carnivore because I think that's an essential and deep question. The fourth group is the Carnivore Way. The reason I like this group is it's an eclectic mix of people. And also I have found certain articles and videos shared in the Carnivore Way group that I don't see in other places. I'm always looking for more information, more insight, more stories. And I find that the Carnivore Way group gathers some of those that I don't see in other places. So it's a little less mainstream. And so you find there lots of different stories, good videos, good interviews, good people. It's got a nice feel to it. Again, that's one of the qualities of Facebook groups is you're looking for a certain kind of vibe, a place where you feel comfortable. I've always thought of Facebook as, yes, it's a source of information like Wikipedia is, but in a Facebook group, it's also like a party. And nobody likes a party where one person is loud all the time or one person dominates the conversation. You like a party where there are a mix of interesting people and you can engage with some. You're not going to be able to talk to everybody, but you find some interesting groups, some interesting people, and you connect with them. And it's a good feeling. And I find that in the Carnivore Way. The fifth group is called, it's a strange name, Principia Carnivora. It's a smaller group than all the others, but it's a little more intellectual. It really gets into some of the deeper discussions of why carnivore works and talks a lot about different approaches, medical approaches found in different countries. Talks about different philosophical approaches. It really gets into some of the health weeds. And while that's not my particular interest, that's not what this channel is about, it is good to discuss, and it is good to know, and it is good to have knowledgeable people. One of the participants, one of the leaders of Principia Carnivora is the woman who founded Zero Carb Zen, which is my favorite carnivore website, probably the original carnivore website, and she participates in that group. So I always love reading what Esme has to say. So that's another one to explore. There are many others, and I urge you to look at them, but always trust but verify. You can trust initially. You can say, that's a good idea. Let me try it. But that trying is your verification. See what works for you. I just did a wonderful interview today, which will be released soon on the channel, with my friend, the minimalist carnivore, Chad. And we talked a lot about how one of the keys for success in carnivore is knowing yourself. Certain approaches work for some people and they don't work for others. Some people, like me, have to be more strict. I can't have carnivore pizza or carnivore nachos. I basically stick with beef and water. But other people can, and that's fine. But you need to know yourself, know if you're a moderator or an abstainer. A moderator is able to occasionally have something, a treat. Maybe they can even have a piece of fruit or some sugar, and they won't fall off the wagon. Whereas an abstainer needs to be very strict in how they go about it. More people in life are moderators than abstainers, but if you're an abstainer, you've got to be pretty consistent. You've got to be pretty strict with yourself. There are a lot of abstainers on the carnivore way of eating. I'm one of them. And we need to know ourselves. That's part of the journey. That's part of the growth. That's part of why this channel exists. The more we learn, the more we engage our minds, the more perspectives we have, the more tools we have to look at ourselves. Because ultimately, this is a journey of self-exploration. Knowing what will help you live the greatest life possible. Because that's what carnivore is all about, at least for me. It's about how we can optimize our way of living, how we can live the most meaningful life. And one of the keys to living the best life is proper nutrition. And for me, that proper nutrition is found in carnivore, as I think it can be for many others. But you need to know that for yourself. This channel gives you guidance in telling my story about how I found the optimum way of eating. Hopefully you can find some knowledge and inspiration for finding your own. And when you find that, you can get shalom for the body, shalom for the mind, and shalom for the soul. See you next time.